everyone, welcome back to our channel. In this video we are going to do the solving of 41 years question paper of this JEE main chemistry. I have taken the chapter coordination compounds. In this chapter we have taken the topic nomenclature and isomerism of coordination compounds. In this topic, how many questions which are appeared in the previous 41 years JEE main chemistry, I am going to solve it now. So the topic is nomenclature and isomerism of coordination compounds in the chapter coordination compounds. Now first let's solve the objective questions which are appeared in in the previous 41 years of this JEE main chemistry. Now let's read this first question. See, the coordination number of CO and AL in COCl, En2Cl and K3Al, C2O4, they are asking about the coordination number in these two complexes, in this CO and in this Al. They are asking about the coordination number of these two complexes. We know that coordination number is the total number of ligands to which the metal is directly attached is called as coordination number. So let's write the definition of this coordination number to understand it better. So total number of ligands to which the metal is directly attached. See here, the first complex is COCl En2Cl. Here you can observe that this Cl is a counter ion. That means it is present outside the bracket. It is not present inside the bracket. So it is a counter ion. So we will not consider it. Why? Because it is a counter ion. Here the definition is total number of ligands to which the metal is directly attached. Here the metal is directly attached to Cl and En2 only, but not for this outside Cl. Why? Because it is a counter ion. It is not directly attached to the central metal atom. And you can also observe in this complex, this Al is directly attached to this C2O4, 3. Here are no counter ions, so leave them. So just the directly attached or C2O4 thrice in this Cl and En2. So here let's consider this first complex, that is COCl En2Cl. In this we have to find the coordination number of this CO. Here we know that this En is ethane 1,2-diamine. It is a didentate ligand. Why? Because it consists of two donor atoms, whereas the Cl is a unidentate ligand. Why? Because it has only one donor atom. Now let's see the structure of this En here, that is ethane 1,2-diamine. So I will represent it. Here is CH2, CH2, NH2, NH2. These are attached to the metal. So it consists of lone pair of electrons and it consists of lone pair of electrons. It is giving to this, it is donating to this metal atom to the coordinate bond. So here are the two donor atoms, and this Cl is a unidentate ligand. Why? Because it has only one donor atom. Now let's count the coordination number of this. See here Cl and En2. Cl is having only one donor atom. So 1 plus this one En is having two donor atoms. So it will become 2 into this 2 into how many donor atoms? 2. So it will become 5. The first complex, that is COCl En2 Cl, is having the coordination number for CO is 5, and for the second complex, let's see it now. See here the second complex is K3Al C2O4 3. If you see the structure of this C2O4, here is a carbon and here is the oxygen, and here it is having lone pair of electrons. Here it is also having lone pair of electrons. This is a metal. So here you can observe that these are two oxygen atoms which are bonded to the metal atom through coordinate bond. So here you can see here are also two donor atoms. So let's calculate this coordination number for the Al. So 3 into C2O4 is 3. So 3 into how many C2O4 present means 3 into how many donor atoms, that is 2. It will become coordination number 6 is 5 and 6. So options are like this: option A 5 and 3, option B is 3 and 3, option C 6 and 6, option D 5 and 6. So the correct option is option D 5 and 6. The correct option is option D 5 and 6. Now let's move on to the next question. Now the second question is, the species that have a trans isomer is, they are asking about the compound that is having the trans isomer. They have given the options like this, that is option A PTENCl2, option B CrEn2OX, that is oxalate, option C PTEN2Cl2 2 plus, option D is ZnEnCl2. And it is very simple question. For this the solution is very easy. We know that for a square planar complexes of general formula, for a square planar complexes general formula, MAA B2 and MAA BB do not show geometrical isomerism. These do not show geometrical isomerism. Whereas if it is a octahedral complex and it has a general formula, that is MAA2B2, this will show the geometrical isomerism. See here, for a square planar complexes of general formula MAA-B2 and MAA-BB, these do not show the geometrical isomerism. Whereas for octahedral complexes of general formula MAA2-B2, it will show a geometrical isomerism. So let's check out the complexes with these formulas. Now let's check it for option A, that is PTENCl2. We know that here En is ethane 1,2 amine, diamine. Now PTENCl2, for this it is a of general formula MAA-B2 and it is a square planar complex. Here you can see AAENCl2B2 like this. So it is not having any geometrical isomers. So it is a wrong answer. They are asking about the trans isomer. We know that geometrical isomers are also called as cis and trans isomers. So here they are asking about the trans isomers. So let's see the option B, that is CrEn2OX plus. Here you can see it is also a square planar complex and it will also will not have any geometrical isomer. Why? Because it is having a general formula, that is MAA-BB type. So it will also will not have any geometrical isomer. So now let's consider this D option, that is ZnEnCl2. For this here you can observe that it is of general formula AA and the Cl2 is B2. So it is also square planar complexes, it will also not exhibit any geometrical isomerism. So we are left with option C here. So let's see this option C. Here octahedral complexes, that is MAA twice B2, it is En2 is AA twice, Cl2 is B2. So it is an octahedral complex, it is having a general formula AA to B2, so it will exhibit the geometrical isomerism. Now let's write the geometrical isomers. We know that geometrical isomers is also called as cis-trans isomers. Geometrical isomerism is also known as cis-trans isomerism. So let's write this for the complex PTEN2Cl2. 2 plus is the complex. We have seen that it is a correct answer. It is having general formula MAA2B2. So I will write the cis and trans isomers, but they have asked only about the trans isomer. So let's write both cis and trans isomer of this. So here is a metal, that is PT, and here is Cl. It is the cis isomer of this. Here let's write the trans isomer. Now, position of the similar ligands on the adjacent side is known as cis isomer. Here you can see these are the similar ligands. They are on the adjacent side, so these are called as cis isomer. Whereas the position of the similar ligands on the opposite side is termed as the trans isomer. So here is a Cl and here is a Cl. These two are the similar ligands which are on the opposite side. So these are the trans isomers. Here also you can see En and En. So option C is the correct answer. We have written the trans isomer of this complex. Now coming to the next question, it is also very easy. Now third question is the maximum possible densitities of a ligand given below towards a common transition and inner transition metal ion, or they have given one of the ligand. Here you can see this is the ligand. They are asking about the maximum possible densities of a ligand towards a common transition and inner transition metal ions respectively. Now what is a denticity means? It is defined as the donor sites or number of ligating groups. So here they are asking about the possible number of denticities of this ligand towards the common transition and inner transition metal ion. So here generally the denticity of the ligand is double of the oxidation state of a metal ion. So write it, it is very important. So generally here the denticity of the ligand is double of the oxidation state of the metal ion. Denticity of the ligand is double of the oxidation state of the metal ion. If the oxidation state of metal ion is 2 means, so the denticity will be 4, like that. So here they are asking about the common transition and inner transition metal ions. So here this given ligand will act as hexadentate ligand. Why? Because in transition metal ion the common oxidation state is +3. So here the common oxidation state of this transition metal ion is +3. So double of this is +6. So it is hexadentate ligand. Hexadentate. While the inner transition metal ion common oxidation state is +4. Common oxidation state of the inner transition metal ion is +4. So in the case of inner transition metal ion the denticity is 8. Now let's look at the options here. Option A is 8 and 8, option B is 8 and 6, option C is 6 and 6, option D is 6 and 8. So the correct option is option D. 6 and 8 are the correct option. So let's remember this as generally the denticity of the ligand is double of the oxidation state of the metal ion. If the oxidation state is 1, the denticity will become 2. Oxidation state is 3 means the denticity will become 6, like that. So the inner transition metal is having the oxidation state +3, common oxidation state. So the denticity is +6, so it is hexadentate ligand. Whereas the inner transition metal is having the oxidation state that is +4, so the denticity is 8. Why? Because it is just the double of the oxidation state of the metal ion. This is the answer, that is the option D is the correct option for this. But before moving any further, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please subscribe to our channel and support us to do more videos. Now question number 4 is the one that will show optical activity. Here they have given the complexes. They are asking about the one which show optical activity. So what is optical activity means? Optical activity is the ability of a chiral molecule to rotate the plane polarized light. So it is measured by polarimeter. We already know it very well. So simply I will explain it here. If you consider a source of light here, you may take the bulb. So it has electromagnetic waves in all the directions. Like this, when the Nicol prism is placed in front of this kind of electromagnetic waves which are scattering in all the direction, we will get plane polarized light. Here this plane polarized light will vibrate in only one direction. So here is a Nicol prism. It is plane polarized light which is vibrating in only one direction. So when the source of light is placed in front of it, the source of light which is in the solution of the complex, it is a solution of complex which is under observation, is taken in the polarimeter, and when placed in front of this plane polarized light, we will get, I will write it as solution. So we will get D form and L form. That is the plane polarized light rotating in the right is called as D form and in the left is called as L form. That is in the clockwise and in the anti-clockwise direction. So we'll get this one. So here the optical activity means it should able to rotate the chiral molecule in D form or L form. And the simple point to observe this optical activity means, in a chiral molecule means, if a chiral molecule is present, means, to show optical activity, the first and very important point is it should not have any plane of symmetry. It is a basic principle of this. It should not have any plane of symmetry. For a chiral molecule to exhibit optical activity, it should not have any plane of symmetry. If at all the plane of symmetry is present means it is not a chiral molecule. If a molecule possesses any plane of symmetry, then it is a chiral molecule. Just remember this. Chiral means it should not have any plane of symmetry. So what is plane of symmetry? It is a imaginary plane that bisects the molecule into two halves that are the mirror images of each other. So let's take this square. If we bisect the molecule like this in this direction, so it is the mirror image of this one and it is the mirror image of this one. So it is having a plane of symmetry. So to a molecule to be optically active, for a chiral molecule, it should not have any plane of symmetry. So the option is simple. The answer is simple here. Let's see this option A, B, C, D. So here you can see option D. If you bisect the molecule like this, this will become the mirror image of this one and this will become the mirror image of this one. And if you pass a plane like this, this will become the mirror image of this one and this will become the mirror image of this one. You can also see in the option B there are many plane of symmetry, and in the option A also there is many plane of symmetry. Why? Because it will bisect the molecule into two equal halves that are the mirror images of each other. So option A, B, D is having plane of symmetry. So it will not have optical activity. So the option is left is option C. Here you can observe that is there any plane of symmetry in this? Here you can pass the plane anywhere. So you cannot observe any plane of symmetry in this. So it is a chiral molecule, we know that, and it is not having plane of symmetry. Here you can observe that there are no plane of symmetry, so it is exhibiting optical activity. That means this will exist in the D and L forms. So option C is the correct answer. Option C is the correct answer. Wherever if you want to find the optical activity, it should not have any plane of symmetry. Otherwise it is said to be achiral. Now coming to the next question. It is also very easy question. Here it is asked in the 2019 only. The following ligand is there. They have given one of the ligand and they are asking whether it is a hexadentate, tetradentate, bidentate or tridentate ligand. Now look at this ligand here. how many ligands which are donating towards the metal atom is, here you can see here is a nitrogen and here is a nitrogen, here is the 2 oxygen. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Here this ligand is tetradentate. Why becomes why? Because 4 donor atoms are present. You can observe that 1, 2, 3, 4 donor atoms are present. So this ligand can bind to the metal atom through the 2 nitrogen and 2 oxygen atoms. So it is tetradentate ligand. So 1, 2, 2 nitrogens and 1, 2, 2 oxygens. The total is 4. So it is tetradentate ligand. What is denticity? It is defined as the donor sites or number of ligating groups. So the option B is the correct option for this. Now question number 6 is the total number of isomers of for a square planar complexes. It is asked in 2019 January. The complex is like this, that is metal FCl SCN NO2. It is a square planar complex. So they are asking about the total number of isomers. So this complex is of type MABCD. We already know that square planar complex of this type will give 3 isomers. 3 isomers. So now here let's write A is equals to F, B is equals to Cl, C is equals to SCN and D is equals to NO2. This is of type MABCD. Here you can observe that here we are having the ligands FCl, SCN, NO2. Here these SCN and NO2 are the ligands. You can observe that these two are the ambidentate ligands. Why? Because they can donate through S or N. So here, see here, in the SCN, it can bind to the central metal atom through this S or Cn. In the Cn, it can bind through this nitrogen, and in this NO2 also it can bind through. It consists of 2 donor atoms, and that is oxygen and nitrogen. So these are the ambidentate ligands. So these have 1 or 2 or more donor atoms, but they can donate through only 1 donor atom at a time. So this SCN can donate through S or N at a time, and this can also donate through O or N at a time. So here it is a special thing in this question. We can easily solve it. I will show it how. So the total number of isomers for this MABCD type is 3 into, and for this SCN, how many donor atoms is possible? 2, and for this NO2 also 2, that is nitrogen and oxygen. For this SCN, S and N, so it is also 2, that is 3 into 4, that is 3 4s are 12. So the correct option is option A, that is 12 isomers for this complex is possible. The total number of isomers for this complex is 12 isomers. Due to lack of space there, I have written on this piece of paper. See, here you can observe that these are the 3 isomers here, and here is a complex, and here is the complex. For this metal I have taken as PT, and around it I have arranged NO2, FCl and SCN, and these are the 3 isomers which are possible for this square planar complexes. By fixing one of the ligand, we have to arrange another ligand. So here you can observe that 3 isomers are possible for this MABCD type. So I have fixed one ligand. See here, F is common in the same side, in the same position, but these ligands are interchanging. These are the 3 isomers. For these isomers, when the ham-identical ligands are present, means these are the ligands here. See here, for this PT, NO2, F, SCN, Cl, here you can observe that See, it can bind through oxygen one time, and here it is binded through nitrogen, here it is binded through oxygen. So here is SCN, so here is NCS, like that. These are the isomers for this one, and these are the isomers for this one, and for this these are the isomers which are possible. So the total number of isomers are 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 isomers we have represented here. See, if you want, you can take the screenshot of this also. See, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. So due to the lack of space there, I have written it on the piece of paper. This completes the sixth question. That is, the correct option is option A, that is 12 is the correct answer. Now the coming to the next question, it is also easy question. The oxidation states of Cr in CrH2O6Cl3, CrC6H6 twice, and K2CrCN2O2 O2NH3. They have asked it in the 2018. They are asking about the oxidation state of this Cr in all the complexes. This is the question now. So here oxygen, this I have represented it wrongly. So here is O2. This 2 is present inside only, whereas in this O2 this 2 is present outside. So now let's calculate the oxidation state of this one. So let's consider the first complex, that is CrH2O6Cl3. Now let's see this counter ion. This is having the charge -1. There are 3 Cl, so it will become 3 into -1 is -3. So the charge on the complex will become +3. The charge on the complex is the opposite of the charge of the counter ion. Please remember it. I have made a complete video to calculate the oxidation state of the central metal ion. I will drop it in the description box. I will drop the link in the description box, so you can watch it there, and I will upload in the iCard also. You can see above, and you can follow that, and also you can learn how to find out the oxidation state of these metals. So here counter ion is having the charge -3, so the complex ion will have the charge +3. So let's calculate it now. So let's just take out this counter ion. Why? Because we have already calculated the oxidation state. So up to now, up to this we have to calculate now. So here we don't know this oxidation state of this Cr. So let's put it as X plus how many H2 are present, that is 6 into oxygen is a neutral, so 0 is equals to +3. Why? Because it is opposite of the charge of the counter ion. So X is equals to +3 for the first complex. And now let's see the second complex. Now the second complex is CrC6H6 twice. In this you can see we don't know this Cr, so we don't know the charge on the complex ion also, it is 0. Why? Because there is no counter ion also. So Cr is X plus how many C6H6 is present, that is 2. The charge of this is 0 is equals to 0. So we will get the value X is equals to 0 for the second complex. And now for the third complex, let's see. The third complex is K2CrCN2O2. It is written outside the bracket, and here is O2, and it is NH3. Now let's calculate it. Here we know that this K is having the charge +1. So how many K's are present, that is 2. That is 2 into 1 is 2. So the charge on the complex ion will become -2. Why? Because it is opposite of the counter ion. If it is plus 2, it is minus 2. Now let's calculate it. So we have to calculate it from here to here. So just leave out this counter ion. This we don't know, this is Cr, so X plus how many CNs are present, that is 2. Cn is having the charge minus 1, and this O2, how many oxygens are present, that is plus, that is 2, oxygen is 2 and the charge is minus 2. And for this O2 we know that it is having the charge minus 2, plus NH3 is a neutral, so it is 0, is equals to, it will become minus 2. Why? Because charge on the complex ion is the opposite of the counter ion, so it is minus 2. By calculating it, we will get X is equals to plus 6. So the correct option is option C, plus 3, 0 and plus 6. The option C is the correct option for this question. And 8th question is, consider the following reaction and statement. So consider this statement. CONH34 Br2 plus Br minus is equals to CONH3 thrice Br3 plus NH3. This is the reaction they have given. So the first option is, two isomers are produced if the reactant complex ion is a cis isomer. Two isomers are produced if the reactant complex ion is a trans isomer. Only one isomer is produced if the reactant complex ion is a trans isomer. Only one isomer is produced if the reactant complex is a cis isomer. It is asked in the 2018. So they are asking about the correct statement. Option A, 1 and 2 are the correct statements. Option B, 1 and 3 are the correct statements. Option C, 3 and 4. Option D, 2 and 4 are the correct statements. So they are asking about the correct statement. So they are asking if the two isomers are cis isomers, or the two isomers or trans isomers, or only one isomer is a trans or one isomer is a cis, like that. So let's write the cis isomers and trans isomer of this reaction. Now cis isomer, let's write the cis isomer of this. Here the similar ligands are on the adjacent side. So here is the metal and it is octahedral complex. 6 ligands are present. Let's write it as CO, and for a cis isomer they are on the adjacent side. So NH3, NH3, NH3 and NH3. So see here, this CONH34 Br2, CONH34 Br2, it is a cis isomer. Why? Because similar ligands are on the adjacent side. So it is a cis isomer. Cis isomer. And for this Br minus. So here you can observe that here is a Br minus. So now we will get two type of isomers when the Br minus is added. So here the NH3 will be removed. So the isomers will be like this. Here is the Br, 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 and here is NH3, NH3, NH3. Why? Because Br minus is added here. So here is a CO. And another type of isomer is produced. It is a facial isomer. Facial. Why? Because when the same ligands are situated in the adjacent position at the corners, we will call it as facial. So here you can observe that Br, 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 it is a facial. And we will get meridional also. In this they are arranged in the equatorial position. See here, I will write the structure of this. Here is Br, 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 NH3, NH3, NH3. It is another type of isomer which is obtained from the cis isomer. It is the meridional isomer. Here similar ligands are present in the equatorial position. So here you can observe that it is the equatorial position. NH3, NH3, NH3 are present on the equatorial position. So here it is a meridional isomer. For the cis isomer we have obtained facial and meridional isomer. If the reactant is a cis isomer, two isomers are produced. So that is facial and meridional isomers are produced. Let's say it for trans isomer. Now for a trans isomer, it is a trans isomer. Why? Because similar ligands are present on the opposite side to each other. See here Br, Br, NH3, 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 NH3 like that. So when the Br is added, we will obtain a meridional isomer here. Why? Because they are arranged in the equatorial position. The ligands, the similar ligands are arranged in the equatorial position. So it is called as meridional. So here we will not obtain facial isomer. For a trans isomer, there is only one isomer is produced, whereas for cis isomer there are the two isomers are produced. So now the correct option is option B and option. Why? Because here you can see they have given the correct statements or that is the 1 and 3. So 1 means two isomers are produced. Two isomers are produced if the reactant complex is a cis isomer. So the reactant complex is a cis isomer. So there are two isomers are produced. And let's see this third statement, only one isomer is produced if the reactant complex ion is a trans isomer. The reactant complex is a trans isomer, so only one isomer is produced. So the correct option is option B. So it includes. Why? Because it includes option 1 and 3 statements are the correct for this question. So the correct answer is option B. Now question number 9th one. Which of the following complexes show optical isomerism? So now the option A is cis COEN2Cl2Cl. Option B is trans COEN2Cl2Cl. Option C is CONH34Cl2Cl. Option D is CONH3 thrice Cl3. These are the options given. They are asking about the complexes which will show optical isomerism. Here is one of the complex which is showing optical isomerism. So we have to find out which is that one. Now let's see the first complex, that is cis COEN2Cl2Cl. Let's write the structure of this. CO, this is cis COEN2Cl2Cl complex. It will show optical isomerism. It is optically active. Why? Because it is not having any plane of symmetry. We know that plane of symmetry is the imaginary line which bisects the molecule into two equal walls, where one is the mirror image of the another one. So here are no plane of symmetry. Here you can observe that there are no plane of symmetry in this. So this cis COEN2Cl2 is optically active. If it is optically active means it will show optical isomerism. So the option A is the correct answer. Why? Because it is not having any plane of symmetry. Now let's see why other are not showing optical isomerism means. Let's consider this trans COEN2Cl2Cl. So here let's write the structure of this, that is CO is a Cl En. Here you can observe that there are plane of symmetry in this complex. Why? Because this trans COEN2Cl2 is having plane of symmetry. Why? It is optically inactive. If at all to show optical isomerism and to exhibit optical activity, it should not have plane of symmetry. It is an important criteria for this one. So this is optically inactive. Now let's consider the option C, that is CO NH3 4 Cl2 Cl. Now let's write this isomers of this one. So here it is having cis and transform. Cl NH3 NH3 Cl NH3 NH3. It is the transform. Why? Because similar ligands are on the opposite side. And under is cis form, similar ligands on the adjacent side, that is NH3 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 and NH3. It is a cis form. These are optically inactive. Why? Because these are also having plane of symmetry. So if you bisect the molecule like this, this will become the mirror image of this one and this will become the mirror image of this one. So this is optically inactive. Now coming to the last complex, that is CONH3 thrice Cl3. For this complex, here is CO, here is NH3 NH3 NH3. This complex is having the isomer facial and meridional isomer for the CONH3 thrice Cl3 complex. So it is also optically inactive. Why? Because these are also having plane of symmetry. So the correct option is option A, that is it is optically active. Why? Because there are no plane of symmetry in this. Now the 10th question is the number of geometrical isomer that can exist for square planar complex. Here PTCl PY NH3 NH2OH is a given complex here. Here PY is pyridine. We already know that for a square planar complex of the general formula MABCD, we will get 3 isomers. So it is of type MABCD. So we'll get 3 isomer. What we have to do for this isomer means we have to fix one of the ligand in its constant position, and we have to arrange all the ligands, and we have to interchange all the ligands. See here is the PT and here is a PYCl NH3 NH2OH. So in all 3 isomers I have kept the constant, that is PY, pyridine is constant. Here PY is constant in its position, and I am interchanging the position of these 3 ligands. We will get 3 isomer. It is very easy question and direct question for a complex of types MABCD in square planar complexes. We will get isomer is 3. So the correct option is option B is the correct option for this. Now the 11th question is which of the following complex species is not expected to exhibit optical isomerism. They are asking about the complex which will not show optical isomerism. So the options are option A COEN3 3 plus, option B COEN2 Cl2 plus, option C CONH3 thrice Cl3, option D COEN NH3 Cl2. Now the correct option is option C. Why? Because this complex will show facial and meridional isomers. They contain planes of symmetry, and thus this complex does not exhibit optical isomerism. We already know that to exhibit optical isomerism, it should not show any plane of symmetry. But if at all it have plane of symmetry, means it is not expected to show optical isomerism. So let's write the complex structure. So it is the octahedral complex. Now it is facial isomer and it is the meridional isomer. It is facial isomer, it is meridional isomer. So it is having plane of symmetry. You can see there are many planes of symmetry in these complexes. If you bisect the molecule like this will become the mirror image of this one, and this will become the mirror image of this one, like that. So these are having plane of symmetry, hence it will not exhibit optical isomerism. So the correct option is option C, that is the complex CONH3 Cl3 is the correct option. Now coming to the next question. It is also a very easy question. As per IUPAC nomenclature, the name of the complex is, they have given the complex, they are asking for the IUPAC nomenclature. This is asked in 2012. So the complex is given like this: COH2O4 NH3 twice Cl3. Here Cl3 is the counter ion and it is a coordination sphere. We already know it very well. We already know the certain rules for naming of this IUPAC nomenclature for this coordination compounds. The cation must be named first and the ligands are named before the metal ion. So considering all this, so here is a counter ion. It is having the charge minus charge, so it is a cation. So this cationic complex should be named first, then comes the Cl3. Why? Because it is having the minus charge, it is having the plus charge. If the coordination complex is having the positive charge, it should be named first. Why? Because the cationic complexes are named first in these nomenclature. Now first consider this coordination complex. In the coordination sphere, what should be named first before the metal? Before the metal, ligand should be named in the alphabetical order wise. So I will write number and name of the ligand. Let's name them in the alphabetical order wise only. First comes aqua and next comes amine in the alphabetical order wise. And how many aqua are present? That is 4 aquas. So it will become tetra aqua. And how many amines are present? That is diamine. Diamine. In the alphabetical order wise, here amine comes first, that is diamine comes first, and then the tetra aqua is the amine and is the aqua. So here it is in the alphabetical order wise, it will come first and then comes the second, that is tetra aqua. Now for the name of the metal ion. Now next is metal ion. We have completed the number and name of the ligand. Now we should consider the name of the metal ion. Here the metal is cobalt and it is a cationic complex. In the cationic complex, the name of the metal will not change. So let's write it as cobalt only. If it is an anionic complex, it will change, but for a cationic complex, it will not change. It will remain as it is. So it is cobalt only. Now oxidation state. Oxidation state of the cobalt is, by seeing this only we can say that is oxidation state is 3 for a cobalt here. Now combining all these things, we should write that is diamine, tetra aqua, next comes the metal cobalt. It is having the oxidation state, that is 3, and next comes the counter ion, that is Cl3, that is chloride. Diamine, tetra aqua, cobalt, chloride. That is option D is the correct answer for this. Here this chloride is the counter ion, so we have to write it after the cationic complex. Now the 13th question is geometrical shapes of the complexes formed by the reaction of Ni2 plus with Cl minus, Cn minus and H2O respectively are. They are asking about the geometrical shape of the complexes when the Ni2 plus is forming a complex with the Cl minus, Cn minus and H2O. They have given the option also. Now let's see that. First ligand is Cl minus. So let's consider this Cl minus here. We know that Ni2 plus is having organ 3d8 4s 0 configuration. So let's say it as a D8 configuration, that is Ni2 plus is having D8 configuration. So this ligand Cl is the weak ligand. Here what happens means this Ni2 plus will form a complex with the Cl, that is Na2 plus 4 Cl minus is equals to NiCl4 2 minus is the complex formed by this. So in the 3D we will have 8 electrons. So let's fill it. Here is a 1 electron, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It is a Cl is a weak ligand, so these two electrons will not pair up. Why? Because Cl is the weak ligand. Please remember it. So these two electrons will not pair up. So now what happens means in the 4s orbital Cl is present, and in the 4p orbitals here is the 2 electrons and 2 electrons and 2 electrons of the Cl. By combining these two things, that is 1 orbital of the S and 3 orbitals of P, we will get sp3. Here sp3 geometry, sp3 hybridization means it is tetrahedral geometry. Now coming to the second ligand, that is Cn minus. We know that this Cn minus is a strong ligand. So what happens means these two electrons which are unpaired here will pair up here. Why? Because it is a strong ligand. See here the arrangement will be like this: 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. This is the arrangement in the Cn minus. Why? Because it is a strong ligand. The complex is Ni2 plus 4 Cn minus is equals to NiCN4 2 minus. It is the complex formed by this Cn. So here you can see that here this orbital is empty. So here are the Cn electrons and 1 2 3 4. Like this the hybridization takes place. So here it is a d orbital, see d, and 1 s orbital, so s, and 2 p orbitals, that is p2, dsp2 hybridization takes place. dsp2 hybridization means square planar geometry. Now comes the next one, that is H2O. With H2O it forms a complex NiH2O6 2 plus. Now here it is also weak ligand, so pairing of the electrons will not takes place. Why? Here you can see that Cn is in the Cn pairing is took place. Why? Because it's taken place. Why? Because it is a strong ligand. It is also, that is H2O is a weak ligand, so pairing of electrons will not take place. So it will be written 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So these 2 electrons are unpaired now. Now writing the electrons of this H2O: 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. See here it is the 1 s orbital and 3 p orbitals, that is p3, and 2 d orbitals, that is d2, sp3 d2 hybridization. So it is octahedral geometry. So the correct option is option B, that is tetrahedral and square planar and octahedral geometry for this. So this is about the 13th question. Now coming to the 14th question. They are asking about the ionization isomer of CrH2O4Cl NO2 Cl is. It is asked in the year 2010. See, for this complex they are asking about the ionization isomer for this CrH2O4, Cl, NO2 and Cl. Here you can see what is ionization isomer means. This form of isomerism arises when the counter ion is potential ligand and can displace a ligand which can then become the counter ion. See here what is counter ion means. When this counter ion in the complex salt will become a potential ligand, that means it can move inside, it can become a ligand by moving inside. Such type of isomerism is called as ionization isomerism. So here the counter ion will be potential and will become ligand when it will move inside. So it is the ionization isomerism. Let's see which is the option which is satisfying this definition. So here you can see this this counter ion should go to inside and this ligand should come to outside. That means the ionization isomer results from the exchange of ions inside and outside the coordination sphere. But this counter ion should move inside and it should become a ligand here. So here you can see option A, that is this ligand has came out but the counter ion did not go inside. So option A is the wrong answer. And you can see in the option C here this NO2 is represented as ONO, so it is also wrong answer. Why? Because it is not satisfying the definition of the ionization isomerism. So now option D is also wrong answer. Why? Because this H2O is going outside, but for ionization isomerism what happens means this counter ion should be potential and it should be able to form, it should be able to behave as a ligand when it will go inside. So the correct option is option B. Here you can see here this Cl is moving inside. Why? Because it is a counter ion. Here when it is moved inside it will become as a counter ion and this ligand which is present inside the coordination sphere will now become a counter ion. So option B is the correct option for this ionization. Now the option 15 is the correct structure of ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid, EDTA is. It is asked in the year 2010. We can directly tell that option C is the correct answer. It is the correct structure of ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid. Now coming to the 16th question. They are asking about the IUPAC name of the NiNH34 NiCl4. It is asked in the year 2005. So let's solve it. That is NiNH34 NiCl4. These are the two complexes given for us, and here we should know that the first complex is given is a cationic complex and the second complex which is given is anionic complex. So first we should name the cationic complex and then comes the anionic complex. First naming the cationic complex. In the cationic complex we have to name the ligand first. So first let's name the number and name of this ligand. So there is only one ligand. There is no need to arrange it alphabetically. Why? Because it is only one ligand is present. So how many NH3 are present means tetraamine. It is a cationic complex. There is no change in the name of the metal ion. So directly write it as nickel. Now anionic complex is NiCl4. Here the ligand is named first before the metal ion. So how many Cl's are present? That is tetrachloro. Why? Because 4Cl is present, so tetrachloro. Then comes the nickel. For this we will name it as nickelate. Why? Because last letter of the metal atom in the anionic complex will become ATE. So it is nickelate. And for the chloro, why I have taken as chloro means it is a anionic ligand. The last letter of the anionic ligand will end with O, so it is chloro. So let's combine these two, that is tetraamine nickel and tetrachloronickelate. So the correct option is option C, tetraamine nickel and tetrachloronickelate. Now the 17th question is, which kind of isomerism is shown by the complex, that is CONH34Br2Cl. They are asking about the which kind of isomerism is shown by this complex. This complex. So CONH34Br2Cl, CONH34BrCl and Br. Here you can observe that here is a ionization isomerism. Ionization isomers. Why? Because the counter ion is itself a potential ligand and it will move inside and it will become as a ligand, and this ligand will come outside as a counter ion. So ionization isomerism is formed in this complex. And now coming to the next thing, these complexes can also form geometrical isomers. Geometrical isomers or can also be formed by this. See, this is the trans ligand. Why? Because the similar ligands are on the opposite side, and this is the cis ligand, whereas the similar ligands on the same side. So this complex will exhibit two kinds of isomers, that is geometrical and ionization isomerism is shown by these complexes. So option A is the correct answer for this one. Coming to the 18th question, the compound that exhibit geometrical isomerism, or it is asked in the year 2019. They have given some of the complexes. They are asking about the complexes which are exhibiting geometrical isomers. So by seeing, we can see the correct options are C and D. Why? Because it is of type MAA2B2. It will also exhibit geometrical isomerism, and it is of type MA2B2. It will also exhibit geometrical isomerism. The correct options are C and D. So let's write the geometrical isomers of this one. Now see here, for this complex PTEN2Cl2Cl2, I have written the isomers here. It is trans isomer and it is cis isomer. Here trans isomer, similar ligands on the opposite side, so it is trans, whereas in the cis, similar ligands on the adjacent side, so it is cis isomer of the complex PTEN2Cl2. So this is exhibiting geometrical isomer. Now I have said another option is option D, that is PTNH3 twice Cl2, that is Ma2B2 type of complex. So here you can see PTNH3NH3 ClCl, so it is cis. Why? Because same ligands on the adjacent side. In the trans, same ligands on the opposite side. So these are the geometrical isomers of this PTNH3 twice Cl2. So the correct options are C and D. Here in this question we have to answer more, and here you can observe that here in this question the correct options will be one or more than one. So here the correct option is C and D. Now let's see the next question. Now coming to the 19th question, it is assertion and reason type of question. It was asked in the year 2008. So they have given two statements, that is geometrical isomers of the complex MNH34Cl2 are optically inactive is the first statement, and statement 2 is the both geometrical isomers of complex MNH34Cl2 possess axis of symmetry is the second statement. So by considering these statements, now we can draw this geometry of this complex. We know that it is having a octahedral geometry, so I have represented it here. It is trans isomer and it is cis isomer. Similar ligands are present on the opposite side, so it is trans. Similar ligands on the adjacent side, so it is cis. So considering the statement here, so the first statement is the geometrical isomer of complex MnH34Cl2 are optically inactive is the first statement. So we already know that for if it is optically active, it will not have any planes of symmetry. But if at all it has a optical inactivity, it will have lots of plane of symmetry. So let's check whether this complexes is having plane of symmetry or not. See here, it is a trans and it is cis. Here you can observe that in both the complexes also there are several planes of symmetry. What is the plane of symmetry means? It is the imaginary line which bisects the compound into two equal halves. One is the mirror image of the other one. So here you can see that there are lot of planes of symmetry. So if I pass a plane here, so this will become the mirror image of this one and this will become the mirror image of this one, so on. So in the cis isomer also there are several plane of symmetry. So these two are having, both have several plane of symmetry. So we can say that the first statement is true. Why? Because these are optically inactive. Why? Because it is having plane of symmetry. If no plane of symmetry, it will be optically active. Please remember this. So the first statement is correct. So the second statement, let's check the second statement. Both geometrical isomers of complex MnH34Cl2 possess axis of symmetry. Now what is axis of symmetry means? An axis of symmetry is an imaginary axis around which by rotating through a minimum angle of rotation the original compound is obtained. So here if we rotate this molecule by certain degree, it should obtain its original structure or indistinguishable structure. So such type of rotation is called as axis of symmetry. H2O molecule is rotated. Let's take the example H2O. So by rotating it by 180 degree, we will get its equivalent configuration or identical configuration. Likewise, axis of symmetry means by rotating through a minimum angle of rotation, the original compound is obtained. Now, by rotating the strands and cis isomers by some minimum angle, we will get original configuration of this one. So it is also having axis of symmetry. Axis of symmetry is present. So the statement 2 is also correct. Why? Because both the geometrical isomers of complex MnH34Cl2 possess axis of symmetry. Yes, that is true. It will possess axis of symmetry. But here, let's read the options first. First option is statement 1 is true, statement 2 is true, statement 2 is the correct explanation of the statement 1. It is wrong. Why? Because statement 2 is not the correct explanation of the statement 1. Why? Because I will tell the reason for you. So it is not, it is correct, not a correct answer. So it is wrong. Now, let's see the option C. Statement 1 is true, statement 2 is false. It is also wrong. Why? Because statement 2 is also true. And option D, statement 1 is false and statement 2 is true. It is also wrong. So considering this B option, statement 1 is true, statement 2 is true. Yes, statement 1 is true and statement 2 is also true. Statement 2 is not the correct explanation of the statement 1. Yes, statement 2 is not the correct explanation of statement 1. Why? Because any compound, be it chiral, achiral, disymmetric, can have axis of symmetry. Axis of symmetry is not criteria for to exhibit optical activity. I will say the reason once again. Both statements are true. However, for the axis of symmetry, it is not a criteria of optical isomerism and optical inactivity of the two isomers of this complex. So, this optical inactivity is due to the presence of plane of symmetry, not because of presence of axis of symmetry, because any compound, be it chiral, achiral or disymmetric, can have axis of symmetry. This is the reason for this. So axis of symmetry is not the criteria for the optical inactivity and optical activity. This is the explanation of this question. Coming to the question number 20, it is passage based type question. Here the question is coordination number of Ni2 plus is 4. So they have given the reaction, incomplete reaction, that is NiCl2 plus KCnXs is equals to A, it is a cyano complex, whereas second one is NaCl2 plus concentrated KCl is taken in the excess. Option B is a chloro complex. So here they have given coordination number of Ni2 plus is 4. So here is the important point is that coordination number of Ni2 plus is 4 means the ligands which are attached to the coordination for the metal ion should have the 4 donor atoms. Why? Because coordination number of this Ni2 plus is 4. So the ligand should also be 4 here. What is the coordination number means? The ligands which are directly attached to the central metal atom. So here let's see this reaction. NaCl2 plus KCN is taken in the excess. Here it is a cyano complex. So let's complete the reaction. So this reaction, the product is K2NiCN4 plus 2KCl. See, here you can see this. For balancing purpose, let's take 4 KCN. So here NiCl2 plus 4 KCN is equals to cyano complex, that is K2. Here 2 Ks are taken and NiCN4 and plus another 2K are remaining. So 2K and 1 Cl is remaining. So 2Cl. 2 Cls are remaining. So 2Cl. The complex is cyano complex, that is K2NiCN4. This is the first complex. And next reaction is NiCl2 plus concentrated KCl is taken in the excess. The the product is chloro complex. So for the chloro complex, we know that the central metal atom should attach to the ligands by coordination number 4. So Ni is the central metal atom. So it is the chloro complex, that is, let's write it as Cl4. Why? Because the coordination number is 4. It is a trick given in the question only. And for balancing purpose, let's take it as 2 KCl. So it will become K2NiCl4. See here K2, 2K. Here 2 Ks are present, so I have written as K2. So Ni and Cl4. I have balanced the reaction. So these are the complexes which I have obtained. The first complex is this one and the second complex is this one. So they are now telling to name this A and B. Now it is very easy. We know that between cationic complex and anionic complex we have to name the cationic complex first. See this counter ion is positive. That means K is having the charge +1. So and this complex is having the negative charge. First what we have to name, the cation we should name. So here the cation is potassium. So let's name it as first potassium. Then comes the anionic complex. Now comes the anionic complex. Now cation is completed. Now comes to the anionic complex. So here in the anionic complex, before metal atom we should name the ligands. So how many ligands are present? That is 4 ligands are present. That is ligands are tetra, cyno. Why? Because it is a anionic ligand. For this the name will end with, the last letter will end with O. So tetracyno, and it is an anionic complex. So the last words for metal will end with ATE. So it will become nickelate. This is for the first complex. Now coming to the second complex. See here, it is also having positive charge and it is negative. So first we have to name this one only. So it is potassium, and for this NiCl4 we have to name the ligand first. The ligand is Cl. So how many chloro is present? That is tetrachloro, and it is also anionic ligand, so O is ended, and for this nickelate. And let's calculate the oxidation state of this. Consider the first complex, that is K2NiCN4. Let's calculate the oxidation number for this. See here, this is having the charge +1. So how many K is present? So 2 K's are present. So it will become +2. So the coordination sphere will have the charge opposite to this. So the charge on the coordination sphere will become -2. And we have to calculate from here to here. Just ignore the counter ion now. Ni we don't know. Let's put it as X plus 4 into cyanide is -1 is equals to -2. And calculate it, we will get 2 as the oxidation state of the metal. And considering the second metal NiCl4, so here also same, it will have the charge -2 on the complex ion. Why? Because it will have the charge +2. Now calculating it, we don't know Ni, so let's put it as X plus 4 into Cl is -1 is equals to -2. By calculating we will get 2. So here we have obtained potassium tetracyanonickelate and potassium tetrachloronickelate, and both both oxidation state is 2 only. So the option potassium tetracyanonickelate and potassium tetrachloronickelate, that is option A, is the correct option for the question number 20. Now coming to the question number 21. Here magnetism exhibited by the complex MnH2O6 2 plus ion is, they are asking about the magnetism of this complex. So we know that here Mn will have the oxidation state, that is +2. Let's calculate it. See here, it is MnH2O6 2 plus. So we don't know Mn, so X 6 into 0 is equals to +2. So X is equals to +2. So Mn is in +2 oxidation state here. We know that Mn2 has 3d5 configuration. So let's write it here. Mn2 has 3d5 configuration. Here it is having the ligand H2O. Here H2O is a weak ligand. So all the d electrons are unpaired here. So let's write the orbitals. It is 3d, it is 4s, it is 4p, and here is the 4d orbital. So it is weak field ligand, that is H2O is a weak field ligand. So all the electrons are unpaired. 5 electrons are unpaired here. So here you can see, if unpaired electrons are present means the magnetism exhibited is paramagnetic substance, paramagnetic complex. That is, the type of magnetism exhibited by this complex is paramagnetic magnetism. Now question number 22nd is integer answer type question. The question is as follows. The value in ml of 0.1 m AgNO3 required for complete precipitation of chloride ions present in 30 ml of 0.01 m solution of CrH2O5 ClCl2 as silver chloride is close to. So they are asking about the volume of 0.1 m AgNO3 required for complete precipitation of chloride ions. They are asking about the volume of 0.1 AgNO3 which is required for the complete precipitation of chloride ions which are present in 0.0 m 30 ml solution of this complex. So we have to find the volume of 0.1 m AgNO3. So here m mole of the complex, that is millimole of the complex, millimole of the complex. See here they have given 30 ml of 0.01 m. So 30 into 0.01, it will become millimole of the complex, that is 0.3, that is 30 into 0.01 is equals to 0.3. Here this complex, that is CrH2O5 ClCl2 complex, will give 2 moles of chloride ions when dissolved in the solution. So let's write this reaction. So Cr H2O 5 Cl Cl2 will give Cr H2O 5 Cl 2 plus 2 Cl. See here, this complex gives 2 moles of chloride ions when dissolved in the solution. See here, you can see 2 moles of chloride ions is given by this complex when dissolved in the solution. So here m mole of the complex, that is millimole of the complex, will become, for 1 mole it is 0.3. For 2 moles we have to multiply by, that is for millimole of Cl ions produced from this one. So that is 2 into 0.3. We will get 0.6. Why? Because there are 2 moles of chloride ions which are formed in this reaction. So millimole of the Cl minus produced is calculated like this, that is 0.3 into 2. It will give 0.6. So by this answer we can say that 0.6 millimole of Ag plus is required for the precipitation. We have calculated this for Cl minus. So for the same only 0.6 millimole of Ag plus is required for the precipitation. So 0.6 millimole of Ag plus is equals to 0.1 mole into V. So it will become, V is equals to what we will get now? That is 0.6 by 0.1. We will get the volume of this is 6 ml. So the volume of 0.1 m AgNO3 required for the complete precipitation of chloride ions is 6 ml. First we have taken millimole of the complex, that is 30 into 0.01, we will get 0.3. So we have written the reaction. We will get 2 moles of chloride when dissolved in the solution. So calculating 2 into 0.3 we will get 0.6. Here 0.6 molar of Ag, that is millimolar of Ag plus is required for the precipitation. So 0.6 millimolar of Ag plus is equals to 0.1 into V, that is V is equals to 0.6 by 0.1. We will get V is equals to 6 ml. Now 23rd question is total number of geometrical isomers of the complex. This question was asked in the year 2010. So now consider this complex, that is RHClCO PPH3 NH3. This is the complex. By seeing this only we can say that it is a square planar complexes. Why? Because tetrahedral geometry, that is tetrahedral complexes, cannot exhibit geometrical isomerism because all the ligands are equidistant from the central metal atom. So here this is a square planar complex. It is of type MABCD. We know that it will exhibit 3 isomers. We already know that by fixing the position of one of the ligand and interchanging the positions of other ligands we will get it. So let's write this. Here are the geometrical isomers by fixing one of the ligand. So I have fixed one of the ligand, that is Cl is common, and I am interchanging the other ligands. So we are getting 3 isomers of this. We know that MABCD type of complex will exhibit 3 isomers, and this is the answer for this one. And now the next one is subjective questions. Here 24th question is write the formula of the following complex. It was asked in the year 1997. The first one is pentamine chlorocobalt and the second one is lithium tetrahydroaluminate. So here for the writing the formula, see here, first we have to write the metal ion, that is it is cobalt, that is CO is written first, then pentamine, that is NH3 5, and they have said chloro, that is Cl. This is the coordination sphere. So now the charge on the complex ion. Let's calculate the charge on the complex ion. They have given the charge on the cobalt is 3. So let's how to calculate this charge on the complex ion means oxidation state of metal ion plus sum of all the ligands. So oxidation state of this metal ion is 3 here, and the charge of this NH3 is 0. Why? Because it is a neutral ligand and it is -1. So we'll get 2 as the answer. So this complex is having the charge plus 2 charge. So it is CONH35Cl plus 2. Now the second question is lithium tetrahydroaluminate 3. So it is, the counter ion is lithium, and here you can see it is the coordination sphere. It is tetrahydroaluminate. Here the Al is the metal ion and they have given tetrahydrido, that is H4. This is the formula of this complex. Now coming to the 25th question, write the IUPAC name of CrNH35CO3Cl. It is a counter ion and it is, you can see it is a cationic complex. First given complex is cationic and next one is anionic. First we have to name the cation as I have mentioned it earlier, but before the central metal atom naming we have to name the ligands. So in the alphabetical order wise. So here amine comes first, then comes the carbonato. Now let's name it as first, that is pentamine carbonato, and next comes the central metal atom, that is chromium and chloride. Next comes the anion, that is chloride. It is a counter ion, so chloride, it is chromium, it is carbonato. CO3 is a carbonato. Here calculating the oxidation number of this chromium will get 3. Let's just calculate this, we will get 3. So the name of this is pentamine carbonato chromium 3 chloride. Now coming to the 26th question, they are asking about the write the IUPAC name of the following compound. They have given the two complexes, that is CONH35ONO Cl2, and the second complex is K3CrCN6. And for coming to the first complex, we have to name the ligands in the alphabetical order wise. So pentamine nitrito, and then comes the cobalt. Why? Because it is positive, we have to name it first. Total thing we have to name it first, we have named it first. Then comes Cl, that is counter ion chloride. Here you can see it is positive thing, it is negative thing, so we have to name this K first. So potassium and hexacyanochromate. These are the easy questions. These are the questions asked from the nomenclature and isomerism of coordination compounds topic. I hope you liked my video. Thank you for watching. Please share with your friends and I request you to subscribe to our channel and support us. Thank you.